Just made my way to my sister's house again because I left the dogs overnight at my sister's place because I thought it'd be good for her to spend some quality time with Romeo and get him adapted to different environment. Ever since I got him, he's only known my house. I feel that with like Chanel and Coco, when they get out of the car here, instantly they know where the steps are to go to my mum's house. But Romeo, he's like still a little lost child, so I want him to get used to this environment, and I do feel that my sister secretly wants to spend more time with them, you know. We're just going to pick them up, and maybe me and my sister can spend a bit more quality time together. I do miss family days, and I feel that we don't do it every so often because since I moved away, I'm not here as often as I would like. And hopefully when she moves out, she's a lot closer to me, so we will get to spend more time together and I'll be around there so often. Every single time I'm bored, I can just pop round.
This week's topic, we are talking all about surgeries, our regrets, things that we wish we would have known. If you guys haven't been following our channels, we have been very open. The fact that we've had BBLs, nose job, eyelid, buccal fat removal.
Let's just give a little synopsis of the surgeries that we've had. I'm going to start off with mine because I've had multiple surgeries, and then you can talk about your surgeries. And if you guys haven't seen my sister's surgery procedures, it's gone viral, okay? It's a top item. When you search for Xthuyle, it's before and after surgery procedures. You know what? When I was looking at my YouTube, you know, they give you information on search topics on what is the most searchable item regarding to your name. My one's always Hong Lee before and after.
That's probably mine as well. But I do have to say, a little disclaimer, just because we've had surgery, we're not promoting or anything like that. We're just really honest, and we just want to tell you guys our experiences. If you guys are interested in maybe doing something like this for yourself, we always recommend to do your research, and that's why videos like this are here, for us normal people to tell you guys our experiences. Coming from two gals that's done a couple procedures, we definitely learned things along the way, maybe things that we would have done differently now. I don't want anyone to ever think that we're promoting or anything like that. It's not something to take lightly at all, and you should love yourself no matter what. Surgery is just there to improve your confidence a little bit. You're still beautiful the way you were born, you know?
Another thing that I want to remind you guys is you should do it for you. You should not feel pressure to do it for anyone else, like your partner or anything. You do it for you. If it makes you feel confident, there is nothing wrong with it.
And we actually done it. All of our family was against it. My boyfriend was against it. But if that makes me happy and makes me more confident in who I am, and it will build me more self-esteem, then those people should be there supporting you. Even if they don't agree with your actions, they should always be there to support you.
There is a lot of risk involved, so make sure you do your research and find the correct surgeon.
Any surgery is also scary and is always taking a risk. Even if you was doing it for medical reasons, anesthesia is more dangerous than the surgery itself most of the time.
The safety, but it's also you're concerned about the aftermath of the surgery as well, because if it goes wrong and you don't find a qualified surgeon, that's when you can have complications as well, when you won't be happy with the result. And if they don't have a good aftercare service, you won't have a guarantee, because I know that there's been people that had surgery, but the aftercare, they have to go and pay double the amount to get it fixed elsewhere. I'm gonna wave the red flag over here.
Well, let's talk about surgeries that we regret, and then we'll talk about surgeries that's life-changing, that we felt like really boosted our confidence.
Let me start regarding to the surgery that I regret. So a lot of you guys don't know, but if you look at my face, you can see that there's a very obvious scar, and it makes me feel really insecure, and it's something that I really want to fix. But obviously under the current climate, I'm unable to do that, and there's multiple phases that you have to go through to be able to smooth the issue that I'm having at the moment. So if I just come a bit closer, and you guys can see, under certain lightings, you guys can see that I have a scar right in the centre of my nose. Now, this has backdated to around about maybe 15 to 20 years, and it's been a long-term struggle for me. And I feel that a lot of people don't notice it and they think, oh, it's no big deal. But to me, I see it every single day. When I look at myself in the camera or in the front of the mirror, this is the first thing that I notice, and it makes me feel so insecure. And even when it comes to like dating and everything, I think, oh, this is the first thing they're going to notice about me. And I feel that it also makes me feel really aged as well. It looks like I'm consistently frowning.
And I know a lot of people, they will always say to you, you don't need that surgery, you don't need that surgery. But that's kind of beside the point. It's all about what you feel and how you feel confident. Everyone is always going to say, you look fine, like your nose is fine and stuff. But if you personally don't feel confident in that, I personally don't think there's nothing wrong changing it if it makes you feel more confident. Tell them what happened, because this is like a long-term thing you've kind of been struggling with.
And I've done so much research into it, and there's no one that has the same issue as me, so I feel like I'm kind of stuck in my own bubble and I don't know what is the solution regarding this. And it's definitely a mistake that I've made, and I made this decision around about 15 years ago. We dated back then, and back then injections wasn't a thing. And when I decided to do it, I basically decided I wanted a taller nose bridge. The options that was available, there was non-permanent fillers and there was also permanent fillers, and I wanted something permanent result. I'm like, why do I want to keep consistently pay and have this redone consistently? So I went with an option called Aquamid. So obviously now there's hyaluronic acid, which is the semi-permanent fillers that you have to top up every year or so. That's what you have in your lips, your filler lines. But they had this that they said was certified and it was registered and it was safe for you to have inside your body. I wish I had the mentality that I have now in comparison to that, because I feel that if I had that, it's reversible. With this, I wanted permanent, and this is the effed up mentality that I have. If I wanted something, I want it permanent here now. I just think that's a solution. Just like when I'm talking about my beauty mark, I totally forgot about it today.
I want it like all the time, when really it's better to build things up over time. If you don't like it, you can dissolve it. But if you have permanent filler, which we never recommend, like people put permanent filler in their lips and it just bleeds everywhere and it kind of expands out.
The trend that was 20 years ago is going to change over time. So if you have the option to dissolve it and then change it, not that you should be following the trend anyway, but that's an example for you.
Yeah.
So I decided to go with this option, which is called Aquamid. I know a lot of people will have a lot of controversy regarding to why do you want a taller nose, and it's very like you trying to be white. But I don't feel that I'm changing my ethnicity, because that's one thing that they would try and say, like, stick to your race. You know, it enhances my feature, and I think that's what's attractive.
You need to explain yourself to nobody, girl. If you want a taller nose bridge, you go.
When I had it done, I was so happy with the result. I'm like, I love it and everything. But it was later down the line, and ran about last 5 years ago, when I wanted a nose job. It said that I was unable to have the procedure if I still had that permanent filler inside my nose.
Yeah, or any filler that you have, you can't. So just say even if I had hyaluronic filler in my nose now and I was going to have surgery, I would have to dissolve all that filler before you have surgery.
And the difference between dissolving the filler is if you have the temporary one, you can just have hyaluronase.
You just reverse it, basically.
Something called hyaluronase. I know, I butchered that. You can just inject that and slowly just dissolve. But with permanent filler, because it's permanent, you have to have it surgically removed. I thought this was a simple procedure. You don't know how it is shaped or how it affects the underlining of the skin underneath. So when obviously he lipoed it out, now I'm left with a permanent scar on my nose. I had to let it heal for some time before I can have a nose job, because there's a chance that you can get an infection if you have a nose job and you still have this Aquamid or filler inside your nose. And I wanted to remove that risk of getting an infection. If I was to have a rhinoplasty straight away after having this removed, there's a higher chance I could get a nose infection, and which is what happened basically. I did get an infection.
And she didn't listen to the doctor, because the doctor did tell her he wouldn't recommend it, but she was so adamant that she wanted it. And you know, we're so impatient, and this is what we are telling you, to do your research before doing anything like this, because infection can come from anywhere. That's what the doctor says. Listen to the doctor. As much as you want it so bad, it's always best to take the longer route rather than the fast shortcut, and then complications happen. So that's something that you regret.
That's something that I regret. What I've been advised, the long-term procedure to how I can minimise this scarring on my nose is either I have fat injected in that area, but because it is so close to my face, fat is easily reabsorbed back into my body. So therefore, it takes a number of procedures to be able to smooth that layer.
Yeah, which she has done, by the way.
This scarring was a lot worse. I've had fat injected into it twice. I want it to be gone, basically, long-term wise.
Which that is the goal, and she was actually planning to do it last year, but then COVID happened and her flight got cancelled. We will keep you updated on that. If I'm completely honest, guys, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's something in her mind that just makes her feel really insecure, but it's not bad at all.
Are you being honest, or you're just saying that?
No, I actually don't think it's bad. I think the last time where you added some fat in there, I think it smoothed out a lot.
Yeah. It has smoothed out a lot. It's really improved my confidence. Sometimes I question myself, do I want to go through all of that again to have the surgery to improve this, or can I accept it? But it's something that still continues to play in my mind, and I still battle it. And I'm just concerned that if I do it and then it still doesn't improve it much, I'll be disappointed as well. So I need to set my expectations as well.
It was a long rant. So yeah, that was something that maybe you guys can learn from my sister's experience. Don't do permanent filler, and also listen to the doctor's advice.
Permanent fillers, I mean, not only is it inserted in the face, but there's so many people that do it in their bum. You know, there's been so many cases where it's got infected, and there's one girl that she had it done in her bum, and basically they had to remove it and she's got permanent scarring. It was horrible. I'll try and insert clips or something if I can find it.
Yeah, it's definitely really, really scary. The things we do. Just trying to look like bad bitches.
There's a lot of risk involved, so I seriously can really think about this. No one make the same mistake that I've made, but hey, we're here now and we just need to move forward. Yeah,
exactly. And I feel like there's always options, there's always a way, you know, even if it takes a bit longer. I'm actually so pleased with everything that I've had done. There's literally no regrets that I have. The only thing that I wish I would have done differently was my boobs. So when I went to go have my boobs done, I wanted them really big. I always wanted big boobs, and I want them like here up to my chin. I want to have cleavage because my boobs were quite far apart before, but now I kind of wish that I went for a more natural teardrop shape. I feel like now sometimes when I wear clothing it just looks so booby-y. I do think there is a difference between natural big boobs and like big fake boobs. When I wear low cut tops I'm just like, oh my god, they just look like porn star tits. Sometimes I get a little bit like, oh, I don't want them to be so high, but that was what I instructed the doctor at the time because I didn't have nothing before. I was like, I want them big, I want them high, I want them round, and I went for like round high implants, which I wish I didn't. It's not the end of the world. I don't like cry myself to sleep or anything like that. It's just is what it is, and maybe I'll fix it a couple of years down the line when I have kids or whatever.
They do say that after 10 years you need to get the implants replaced, so maybe that is something that you can consider down the line. I've grown up my whole entire life with big boobs, and I always crave for smaller boobs, and when she had smaller boobs I'm like, this is perfect. It was perky. You can wear anything. It doesn't look like you're, you know, all out there like spilling all over the place. When you wear simple clothing, it just makes you look cool and edgy.
I feel like that look suits people that's got a nice slim figure. With the hips that I had going on, I felt like I just needed a balance. But now that I have bigger boobs and like bigger hips and stuff, I'm definitely more conscious of like the type of clothing that I wear, because if I wear like big baggy stuff like this, I just look like a round apple. So I really have to accentuate my waist. Otherwise I can look really, really round. I don't regret anything. I still
do you know what? After you've had your boob experience, I really want to get my boobs done, but I want an uplift. When I take off my clothing, all I can see is the nipple is like pointing to the toe.
Swinging down south.
And the nickname that we have is my orangutan.
Orangutan tits.
Sorry about my grandma, right? Food for thought, and every time now when I reflect on myself, I'm like, oh my god, it's a reminder.
You got the grandma tits. And then on the flip side, we've also had other surgeries that, oh my god, I feel like it's so life-changing, and I'm so happy that I got it done. Not that I want to recommend that to you guys, but it really did boost my confidence. For example, like my liposuction and my BBL surgery that I've had done. I feel like now I've definitely gained weight, but whenever I gain weight now, it's definitely more proportionate. The food kind of goes to my bum and my hips a little bit more than just my belly and my chin. Like now I've had my liposuction on my chin, I don't have the crazy double chin that I used to have before. Like before, whenever I used to gain weight, it would instantly go to my face straight away. And I still feel like it does now, but not as doubly as it was before, you know?
I definitely don't regret my BBL. I think that's one of the most life-changing surgery that I've had. I feel so much more body confidence. It's not perfect, but it's made such an improvement to how I feel. Something that I definitely don't regret.
I hope you guys found that little segment insightful. No, we're not here because we want to promote surgery. As I told you guys before, I need to make that very, very clear because I don't want anyone to twist our words. Even if you guys don't agree with surgery, I hope you guys can value us being honest. And I think that honesty is key, you know. I don't want anyone thinking that, oh, we just woke up like this, because we didn't. Like, we had a procedure to achieve the look that we personally wanted. If that's not your cup of tea, that's perfectly fine. We can agree to disagree. It's definitely helped our confidence so much. If you guys were thinking to do anything like this, like do a lot of research. If that makes you happy, then I say go for it.
Do you know what? I really want another perspective from a guy. If Guang was here, I want to ask him, is he enjoying the body?
He really is. He's like, oh, that ass is fat. How about you and dating and stuff? Like, does it make you feel more confident?
It does make me feel more confident, and I'm trying all different positions now.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. It definitely does actually make me feel more confident now, because I'm like, I know my ass is fat, you know?
When they bounce behind him, They're bouncing back.
Also, when you're dating and stuff, like, have anyone ever asked you
know
for
what?
surgeries?
The thing is, I'm really conflicted inside because obviously I went on that date and he said, oh my God, when I look at you, you're so shapely and that's the first thing I noticed about you. I was like debating, should I be honest at that moment and tell him that I've had my bum done? But then I'm feeling it's too upfront, it's too personal from the get-go.
You don't have to tell everybody, you know, even though it's on the internet, but they don't have to know. You know?
It's a touchy subject because I feel like, at what point do I tell this person? Because in their mind, they think it's all natural.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Like, if you've had a procedure done, like, would you tell them that you've had surgery? Like, if they asked you straight up, would you tell them? Do you think you would say?
But the thing is, he didn't ask me straight up. He made a comment. So another thing he said to me is, do you know what? Your nose is really, really cute. You've got a really small, dainty nose, and people would die and have surgery to get that nose. And in my head, I'm thinking,
I did.
And I didn't know at that point in the stage to tell him or not. Yeah, when do you bring it up? And I feel that when you're confirmed that, you know, he's definitely interested, but in the bag, then you're like, yeah, this is the reality.
Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed our little chit-chat. Please let us know what you guys want us to talk about next week. I see in the comments that you guys really love our chit-chats and, you know, we just like to keep it real. That's the main thing about these vlogs. I feel like that's what you guys love the most.
We're wearing joggers and then this crop top, which is so cute. They're both from Boohoo. My sister gave me this crop top. I don't know whether this little thing at the bottom here is meant to go underneath my boobs or not. It is a brand new start to the week and I'm just about to make my way outside the house right now because I ran out of food, and the only thing that's motivating me from actually leaving the house right now is the dogs, because we haven't got any wet dog food left for them. I've given them doggy kibbles, but they do not want to touch the damn thing. I totally forgot that it was Mother's Day yesterday and I spent all day long editing, so I didn't get to celebrate Mother's Day because I am a mother. I'm a mother of 3. My dogs are my babies. So I was watching this topic today on Reddit and it was on the subject of, do you admit whether your kids are ugly? And I think about it, I'm like, oh my God, that is so true. I've had friends and families and everything, and they go on about how adorable and cute their babies are. But then when I look at the kid, I'm like, they're not the cutest, not the prettiest thing, you know. But then do you tell them because they go on and gush about their kids and everything? And I just think, being a mother myself of 3 dogs, I can totally relate, because whenever I look at my dogs, I'm like, oh, they're the cutest thing alive. But when my sister-in-law goes and see my dogs, she's like, oh, they're ugly, she doesn't like them. So are you totally biased? And if your kid was ugly, can you put your hands up and admit that your kid is ugly, or you just overlook it? Oh my God, imagine if your kids are really ugly. How do you build that confidence in them? I imagine I would have to compliment them every day, say that looks is not important, personality shines. You make up for it by having a great personality, and that's how it should be anyway. You know, in this world where everything is so superficial, it is so hard to get by. I read this funny story about ugly baby. So this couple, they had a kid around about 6 years ago, and their first baby came out stunning. There was no flaws, everything was perfect. Decided to have a second kid. The second kid came out dang ugly. I think the dad thought, my God, this can't be mine. So he secretly went and got a DNA test. And his heart sank when the DNA matched. He can't describe how awful he felt that his DNA matched the babies. Isn't that a horrible story? When you think you're that good looking, it turns out it's your DNA. And there's a saying where if you want a happy life, you should never marry a pretty woman. That also correlates that whenever I see like a really good looking guy and then I'm thinking he's gonna have a super hot girl, and then when you look at the girlfriend, you're like, dang, she's just an average basic bitch. No, beauty is not all that, is all down to the personality, guys. Well, that's my take from today's message anyway. Not enough of the ranting, I need to leave the house because I've got like 40 minutes to do food shopping and rush home and get back to work. I'm off today, no work, thank God. It looks like a nice and bright and sunny day. Come downstairs, the freaking floor is wet, so clearly it's not a bright and shiny day. I'm gonna take the dogs out for a walk and we're gonna get a little coffee. I'm so embarrassed to show you guys this, but does anyone else have a closet like this where they just stuff everything in? Look how bad that is. I haven't got no space to shove anything. Everything that's in there is a complete mess. And I hoovered the house and there was just no space on the floor to put the hoover. So I literally chucked it on top of... I really need to sort this out. This is me trying to get out the buggy so I can walk the dogs. Oh, what the hell are you doing? I'm secretly very messy, if you guys can't tell. I'm just good at hiding stuff away so that you can't see the mess. We got the baby out. Now there's space to put the Hoover back in here. It's actually such a beautiful day. We got Romeo here, Chanel, we got Coco in the buggy. Came back from my long walk. That was so unexpected. It was just so crowded I couldn't get a coffee because I was just concerned that if I leave my dog outside, someone might steal my dog. It was playing on my mind, and someone offered to look after my dogs. Can I really trust you? So I thought, oh, let me skip the coffee. Now I'm making my way back home, trotting along. And then someone stopped me and said that, oh, you must get a lot of attention with the dogs. It turned out to be this guy that's just talking to me, and then we was just conversing, exchange, because he was like considering to move into the area. He wanted to ask my opinion about the area that I live in and would I recommend it, and etc, etc. And we started talking, and he was like, do you want to grab a coffee? And I was like, oh, why not? Seemed like a nice and friendly guy. And we end up chatting away for 2 hours long, sitting outside the bench, just chatting away about life. And it was a really nice guy. I know what you guys are thinking. Is there potential? For me, physically, I wasn't attracted to the person. I don't know why I'm going through this urge where I really want to colour my hair. I want to go back to blonde. I've been thinking about it for the last couple of days. And I keep saying to myself, you're going to damage your hair even more. Why are you doing it, girl? But it's playing on my mind. I just want to change. You know, when you just feel like you want to change your life, you want to upgrade, you want to do this, do that. And what is it up with us girls when we think that if we go through a little transformation, we'll feel better? I don't know. I'm just going through something mentally. Another thing that I've been feeling a bit down in the dumps for is, you know that guy that is a teacher that I said I kind of liked and we're not communicating? Yeah, I haven't heard from the dude. I don't know why I was so optimistic. There's something about him that I like and I just couldn't pinpoint what it is. Let's not deny he was a bit of eye candy. Oh. So fit, so tall as well, like 6'2". Oh, something about tall guys, it just makes you feel safe and secure. Personality wise, maybe not. Physically, oh, when he held me, I'm just like, oh, hold me a bit longer, let me melt into you. It was a bit disappointing, but hey, not to dwell on the past. Another note, Sunday we got a little mini date. Gonna grab some bubble tea and then a walk in the park. Got that to look forward to, which is exciting. I don't know how I feel about this one. It's still like a couple of days away, so I'm not even thinking about that at the moment. How are you guys spending your weekend? That's what I'm wondering. Lockdown, there's limited things to do. I'm just sitting here twiggling my thumb. I'm like, what should I do? I'm bored. Let's colour my hair. An end of vlog here. I hope this week you enjoyed this week's vlog. I know we touch a really sensitive subject, which a lot of people do not want to talk about, but I just want to be real with you guys. I hope you guys subscribe to my channel. Make sure you turn on your notification bell. Ensure you follow me on all my other social media platforms and support your girl because I love you because you love me. Anyway, I'll see you next week's vlog. Mwah!